Welcome and good afternoon. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, wherever you're watching from across the world. We want to welcome you to I Am Sure Sports, and I am Omar Stennett, your host, the man they call Manning's Man. Yes, it is I. Not like Allo de Klerk, but it is I. I'm extremely delighted that you have joined us for one more episode. This is our 18th episode. This is called the Friday Banger, and every Friday at 12:30 this show premieres, and it also is seen on Ari Times TV. Check them out. Whole lot of good content there. The Browns, Michael and Judith, over there doing a great work representing JA all the way. Big up. Yep. And we are so delighted also for all our subscribers. Listen, our subscriptions are going up. Yeah, we are at like 432. And I know that by this Friday we're going to hit the 500. Ba-bam! And once we hit 500, we're going to come back on and we're going to give you some credit. Yeah, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We're going to do things a little differently. Today we're going to talk some NBA basketball. We're going to talk some football. Yeah, and international football, international club football, and then we're going to speak about some local football. We're going to give you some track and field information. For real. Yep. Are you ready? If you're happy and you know it, say amen. All right, there you go. All right, so welcome again, and let's dive right into it. Listen, you're going to see a video on our channel, right? Or a promo video. And I want to say big shout out to Kim Righteous. He did that little jingle for us. Enough respect. You need to check him out on Spotify. He's on iTunes. He's a Jamaican over there in the States creating a wave. You need to listen to his tracks. Big up, my youth. Yeah. All right. Right now, the NBA is getting down to the wire. It's getting close to the playoffs, and things are beginning to set up nicely in terms of what is going to happen. What we can say thus far is on the Eastern Conference, the Philadelphia 76ers, you'd say that they are in the playoffs along with the Brooklyn Nets. I'd say those two are guaranteed to be in the playoffs right now. The Sixers are 43 wins, 21 loss. The Nets, as of Monday, they are 43-22. And on the Western Conference, the Suns and the Jazz, they are in it. But the other positions, I think until the end of the regular season games, there are 72 games. So most teams have a maximum of 8 games remaining. There's going to be changing in those positions from the number 3 seed to around, I think, the number 12 seed. So if you go at it now, the Denver Nuggets, LA Clippers, the Dallas Mavericks, Portland Trail Blazers, they would be a top 6, right? But you know that from there's a playing tournament. So if everything should stop right now, the Lakers, who are in 7th place, would have to be in the playing tournament. But that is not going to happen. LeBron is back, AD is back, and they haven't found their groove yet. And so I suppose they're going to climb up back the ranking. And if LeBron doesn't get healthy and AD doesn't get healthy, the Lakers will not come out of the West. But if these two are healthy, there's no way that any other team in the West, including the Utah Jazz, who is having a very good season, can stop them. Denver don't think will be able to do it without Jamal Murray. The Clippers, I don't trust them because Kawhi keep complaining that he's playing with a foot injury, so I'm not sure how good he's going to be, though they have added Randall to their roster. And Chris Paul and the Phoenix Suns playing some good basketball, but I don't think they have a very good interior game, which you really need when it comes to the playoff. And too many big men. They'll have to contend with too many big men down low. And I don't think Ayton is good enough down there to stop some of these other big men in the league. So I don't see them coming out of the West. I could be wrong. It would be good to see them coming out, but I don't see it happening. All right. But we'll see. We have a few weeks left before the playing tournament, and then we get into the playoff proper. Over in the East, I want to speak about this. Go back to them. And so the Sixers, the Nets, the Bucks, they are definitely going to be in. You have the New York Knicks. That's my team. I love them to the core, to the bone. The Knicks are presently 36-28. You know, they are 8 games over 500, and this has not happened in a long time. Julius Randle continues to play well. Emmanuel quickly playing well. Derrick Rose having a good season as well. RJ Barrett. The team is gelling, and Coach Thibodeau is doing a good job with these guys. And so you have the Knicks in 4, the Hawks in 5, the Heats in 6, the Celtics, the Hornets, the Pacers, the Wizards, and the Raptors. Those are the teams that are there kind of contending. But I think the Knicks are going to either be the 4th seed or the 5th seed, because I really see them going to the 2nd round. Because the Sixers will be in the 2nd round, the Nets will be in the 2nd round, the Bucks will be in the 2nd round. I think the next team will be the New York Knicks, because they are going to play the 5th seed, and I think if they meet the Hawks as the 5th seed, they're going to beat the Hawks. And I think how the matchup is, they will beat the Celtics or the Heat, if any of those teams. But the Knicks are going to be in the 2nd round. And that's where this, I think, is going to end for them, because they'll end up either playing the Sixers or the Nets. And I don't think this year they can beat either of those teams. I think, though, what they should do, and this is my prediction for next season, is that the Knicks should give up some pieces, but keep Randall and get Damian Lillard from Portland. If the New York Knicks can bring Damian Lillard to New York and keep RJ Barrett and Randall and add Beal, because I think if Lillard comes, Beal is leaving Washington. And if they have a lot of cap space, that would be one of the best backcourts in the Eastern Conference. They would have to contend with Kyrie and James Harden, but I think it would be a very good backcourt, and then you could have your Brooklyn Nets, New York Knicks rivalry again. I'm hoping that they'll make a big move like this in the offseason and keep Julius Randle, because he's in the top 5 for MVP this season. I'm telling you, the guys, I mean, this is probably the first player, I mean, who was such a high draft pick, and I would say his first 5 years in the league were terrible, and just having a season like this, I don't know if there's any other story like this. And so kudos to him and what he's doing in New York. If it was up to me, I'd give him the MVP, because I think he has done more for his team, being in the position that they are, than any other one player. So if you look at Joel Embiid, he has a lot of help with Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris. The Joker, for most of the season, had Jamal Murray. And they are a regular playoff team. Same thing with the Sixers. The Knicks have not been in the playoff. So to move from 25 wins last season to where you are right now, he has done more for the Knicks than any of these players are doing for their team this season. I think the only player who I can say has made a major difference that is above Julius Randle would be Chris Paul down in Phoenix. Right? But of course, you know, people are going to look at the numbers, and Joel Embiid has good numbers, so he may be your MVP candidate. But I think Julius Randle is a worthy competitor. Right now, let me just touch a little bit on the Brooklyn Nets, and I've been saying this to you for a while. If the Brooklyn Nets don't get their physical health in order, they are going to suffer in the East, and the Sixers are going to knock them out. Right? Durant looks good, but you can tell that he's not fully fit. James Harden seems to be struggling still with his health. And Kyrie is here and thereabouts. The Brooklyn Nets, to pass the Sixers, will need all those pieces. The level that Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons are playing at, it will be difficult to stop them. You may say, well, who else do they have? Listen, these guys have Dwight Howard coming off their bench. Don't underestimate them. Tobias Harris is a good defender. He may not be able to mark KD, but he can make KD scoring ability bad. He can affect his ability to score, right? And I believe Ben Simmons is a good, solid defender that can either guard Kyrie or James Harden. He has length and all of that. So they're not an easy team, right? And they play good basketball. So look out for that matchup. I think it's going to be the matchup in the Eastern Conference, the one that I'm looking forward to. I think the Bucks, though they recently beat the Nets, I don't think the Bucks have the pieces. I think the Bucks need to trade Lopez. I think Lopez is the biggest liability. I see him as one of the worst big men in the leagues. I've never rated him from he was in Brooklyn, but people say he's a good set at center. I don't see it, right? So that's a quick look at the NBA. We'll be back. You know, we have Pioneer and Chris Lynch will be coming on to talk some NBA with us, and that's going to be fiery. Yeah, for real. All right, so so far, two of my predictions concerning teams who would have won their leagues are right. I did say Bayern Munich was going to win the Bundesliga. They are going to. Easy squeezy. I said Inter Milan was going to. I said it from early. Inter, I even said that AC would have finished ahead of Juve, but they won't. But Juve is struggling to stay in the Champions League spot right now. Inter Milan has won the Serie A. Big up Conte. Big up Romelu Lukaku. What a thing. Alexis Sanchez. Ashley Young. Big up Inter. They have won. They were my pick and they have come true. Tell you now, when I Am Sure Sports says, I am sure, you can put some moolah on it. I'm telling you. People keep talking about I get the NFL pick wrong. I did. The Super Bowl was wrong. Why? Because there were many factors surrounding it. Come on. That I didn't know. I didn't know that the coach was going to have his son in an accident. I didn't know that Mahomes would be unhealthy. I didn't know that so many players would be. I didn't know. And so based on what I knew at the time, I figured they would have. But normally, we are sure. And that is why we are called I Am Sure Sports. We're not trying to be anybody else. We're trying to be us and do our thing our way. No, I also said that City would have won the quadruple. Alright? They have lost one. But I'm still going to give them 4 titles. Because I'm going to give them a make-up one. Because they're still going to win 4 things. And you have to call it in this season. Alright? So let me break it down for you. City are going to win the Champions League. They have won the Carabao Cup already. They lost the FA Cup to Chelsea. They should not have. Pep Guardiola is the reason why that pick is not standing. Pep, not me. Don't blame me. Blame Pep. He is the reason. Selected the wrong team. This false 9 business is false. That's exactly what it is. It is false. Soon get to a coach who tried it. This coach. So tell him it. Anyways, let's get back to City. So they are going to win the Champions League. They are going to win the Premier League, obviously. And so they'll need to win 1 more title. It means that they will play in the Super League. Here is where I'm going to surprise someone. For the Super League, they are going to play Arsenal. And they're going to beat Arsenal, so they're going to win 4 titles. See? 4 piece. They're going to beat Arsenal. Well, you may be saying, Arsenal, what are you talking about Arsenal? And they lost the first leg. Well, by the time you get this video, and you watch this video, they would have won the second leg against Villarreal, and they'll be in the final with Manchester United. And can I tell you, Manchester United has not scored a goal against Arsenal in the last 4 outings. They have not defeated Arsenal. Arsenal will beat them in the finals of Europa. The reason why Arsenal looked so bad in the first leg is the coach. Obviously, Arteta, who is a student of Pep, saw the Manchester City game against PSG, that there was no number 10 a centre forward. He doesn't have midfielders who are scoring goals. None of the Arsenal midfielders this season in all competition has scored. Listen to me. Has scored double figures. Yet this coach goes into a game without a centre forward, trusting midfielders to score. Can't work. And so we lost 2-1. Should have been out of the tie. But the former Arsenal coach, Unai Emery, the pragmatic Unai Emery, did what he always did. The man is leading, outplaying Arsenal. And you know what he did? He took off his major attacking threat and put on a holding midfielder at home and conceded a goal on top of it. I think Unai Emery thinks Arsenal deserve the title more than Villarreal after what Chelsea did to him and his Arsenal team in Baku. And that could be the only reason why he did what he did. And he's going to pay the price for it. Pay the price. He's going to pay the price for it. He's going to be knocked out. And Villarreal will not be in Europe because they are, I think, 7th in La Liga right now. So I got Inter, City, Bayern. Go to Spain. I told you that Barcelona was going to surpass Atletico Madrid. And they are. Because Barcelona is going to beat Atletico this weekend. And Barcelona ain't losing no more game. I'm sure. PSG over in France. So the picks are right, people. The picks are right. I am sure. The picks are right. Alright? So let's come back to some Reggae Boyz news. I mean, a lot is being said. A lot of persons speaking about Coach Whitmore. So many persons have asked, what are your thoughts on Coach Whitmore, management of the Reggae Boy team? So let me say this to everyone. Whitmore is one of the most successful local coaches to lead the Jamaica national football team. His record has proven it. Give it that. That's a fact. Cannot be disputed. Coach Whitmore has also, under his leadership, given opportunities to the most youngsters coming out of high school to play for the national team. Coach Whitmore. He has gone as far in the Gold Cup as any other coach in Jamaica. This is Coach Whitmore. You may not like his style, but he gets the result. And too often, the problem with our football continues to be style over substance. I personally believe, with all his shortcomings, because we all do, at this present time, I don't know what the future holds, and decisions could have been made before, but at this present time, heading into the Gold Cup and into the World Cup campaign, Theodore Whitmore is the best person to lead the national team. If he fails miserably in the Gold Cup, then I think, even in his eyes, he would say it is fair for his position to be assessed. That would mean that there would have to be someone in the program presently or to be added who would have the know-how, the relationships with the players to transition the team. Because from the ending of the Gold Cup in August to the beginning of the first games in September, there's not much time. And so to bring in a new coach who don't know anything about the team will be difficult. The other thing is that, does the JFF have any options? Are we financially able to afford a coach who, in our eyes, our estimation, above Theodore Whitmore, when we had a dispute with player salaries? So, what then do we do? And listen, I support the JFF, I support Whitmore. You know me, and I support Jamaica's football. I think what the JFF has to do is give Whitmore all he needs to succeed. And then if he fails, he has to take responsibility. So if I were in a position to, I would find him a couple more coaches in an assistant role. Somebody to sit with him to deal with analytics, check stuff, in-game statistics, versed in that, present them before him at halftime and stuff. Somebody who is at the training session who does likewise to see the work rate of individual players. I'd provide that to him. I'd provide him with the best physical trainer available. I hear that there's a former reggae boy who is a physical trainer who could be contacted. I don't know. I do that. Jerome Waite is there. I don't know what the relationship is, but I think I would get someone outside of Jamaica to sit as an assistant beside him. Probably someone who has a relationship with some of the English-based players. Why is that important? Because they are coming from a different environment. And that is why I think like a Paul Hall or a Fitzroy Simpson would be a good addition to this program. Why? Because the people don't realize that there's a culture shock. It's just like when I go to the States. I mean, the thing that I experience is like, wow. And the same thing happens when families and friends come to Jamaica and they see certain things. There's an immediate shock and awe that they go through. I think some of the players who have never been in the national stadium, never trained in Jamaica, never played a game in Jamaica, when they come and see things and here's what, there's a wow shock moment, and you need someone who has been in that, who is a coach who can help Whitmore to help integrate them into the system. I think the JFF can provide that. Now, if Whitmore has all of those resources, he's allowed to play enough friendlies and he's still failing, then no one can blame the JFF if he's relieved of his duty at some point. That is my thought as it relates to the situation with the Reggae Boyz. I still believe that there needs to be a mediation meeting with players. The relationship is too fragile going into the Gold Cup and a World Cup campaign. One of the things I will appreciate with the 1998 team, and even the female team that qualified for the World Cup, are the under-20 teams that have qualified, the under-17 team. If you look at those teams, the management, the coaches, the players were all in unity. There was a oneness. Every team from Jamaica that has qualified for a World Cup, there was a visible oneness, a visible unity. All right? And so as an outsider, I look at certain things. From time to time, I would see Coach Busby or Minzy, I think his name was, who was coach the Reggae Girls when they went to the World Cup, and the girls doing press conferences and stuff together. All right, Sidela Marley was a part of that process. During if you go back to the Renée Simoes era, Renée Simoes and players and Captain Burrell would be in the same place talking and communicating. and sharing stuff, sitting down together and speaking to the populace and speaking to people. Now I'm saying, all I'm asking is that as a show of unity, I'd love to see Andre Blake, Kemar Lawrence, Theodore Whitmore, a couple of the English players, Dalton Wint, Michael Ricketts, Rudolph Speed, and Bruce Gaynor sit down. And so Jamaica can see that and say, oh, they are getting along. But we are not seeing that. And that is indicating, maybe you can say people are casting aspersions, or they're insinuating things that are not so, or extrapolating from the situation things that are not so. But the truth is, there's no show of unity, and there's no talk of every utterance you have heard so far indicates that the players have a problem with the administration have a problem with the players. Whitmore and the players seem to get along. Some of the players have a problem with English-based players. The JFF, the Federation, and the English-based players seem to have a better relationship than the administration and the local contingent of players. The communication over the last year has been down that line. So what do you think people are going to think? That's my say. And I am sure if we can get the unity right, World Cup we say. What you say, I am sure. Want to say big up to Elaine Thompson here, ran the second fastest 100 meter of this year. So Natasha Morris did a fast time. We have the American girl who, I mean, her time is out of this world. But you know that when it comes to the big thing, she's going to, right? But Elaine Thompson, 10.78, second fastest time this year. And she was cruising. I think it was in Texas that she was. Natasha Morris finished down the field. She never broke the 10 second barrier in that. So we have two Jamaicans who have gone on the 11. Elaine 10.78 and Natasha 10.82. All right. The second and the third fastest time over the 100 meters this year. Very good. The Jamaica male 4x1 teams they still have a place in the Olympic relays. The place was under threat because of the world relays. They opted not to go. And if any team had run fast, if at least two of the teams competing run faster than them, there would have been some problems. But that never happened. They are in it. But big up to Elaine. I mean, the 100 meters look good again. Imagine Elaine, Natasha, Brianna, and Shelly, 4x1. Goal! At the relay. Yeah, man. Listen. I think we're going to get I think people are thinking that Jamaica going to bat at this Olympics. We're going to get 10 medals minimum at this Olympics. Relay and individual medals in total. Minimum 10. Mark my word, because I am sure. Again, big up and thank you all our subscribers. Love you so much. Appreciate all you're doing. Remember, like, subscribe. Listen, if you know somebody else and they have not, asked them, have you subscribed? And if they say no, so let me help you with that. Help them to subscribe. It takes a lot to do the video. It takes a little to do to subscribe. So subscribe, like, and share. And make a comment. I will always respond to your comment because you are my inspiration. You get it? I am sure. So big up again, Ari Times TV. They continue to support us. Judith and Michael over there in Florida. Enough respect. Big up Kim Righteous, the man who said the love of Christ unite us. Yeah, thank you for the jingle. And you will see, check the channel and listen to the jingle because we don't mingle. Yeah, because that is why we don't eat. Hey, I am sure we're up, we're out, we're over, and we're gone. See you when I see you, and if I don't see you, maybe I wasn't supposed to see you.
Them call me Dryland Tourist. When I'm ready? And we're excited.
The hottest show. Lovely.
Welcome to the Culture Zone.
You're beautiful. Let me see your bounce.
Yeah, man, this is your boy Omar represent for Gospel Rhythms.
More than a conqueror.